Colorado Avalanche versus New Jersey Devils. The Colorado Avalanche and New Jersey Devils meet at the Prudential Center on Sunday in a matchup between two early-season powerhouses trending in opposite directions. Colorado, sitting second in the Central Division with a 5-1-3 record, 3-1-1 away, seeks to regain form after two narrow losses. New Jersey, on the other hand, has surged to the top of the Metropolitan Division at 7-1-0, boasting a perfect 4-0-0 record at home and looking every bit like a contender ready to stake its claim among the NHL's elite. This meeting pits one of the league's most dynamic offensive duos, Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen, against the Devils' electric tandem of Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt. Both clubs are near the top of their divisions, but the underlying storylines, Colorado's quest for defensive stability and New Jersey's relentless pace, set up an intriguing clash. Goaltending will play a pivotal role in this interconference showdown. For Colorado, veteran Sam Wedgwood is expected to start, carrying a 2.33 goals against average, GAA, and .934 save percentage across 5 wins, 1 loss, and 2 overtime defeats. Backup Trent Miner, who impressed in limited action with a perfect 1,000 save percentage, remains an option if rest is prioritized. On the other side, New Jersey's rotation has leaned on Jake Allen, 4-0, 1.72 GAA, 932 SV%, and Nico Dawes, 1-0-0, 1.00 GAA, .967 SV%, giving the Devils arguably one of the league's hottest goaltending tandems. Jacob Markstrom has struggled early with a 3.89 goals against average and .845 save percentage, but Allen's stability has offset those concerns. With both teams generating over 35 shots per game and allowing about 26, the duel between Wedgwood and Allen could define the tempo early. Colorado's structured offense against New Jersey's transition-heavy attack. Offensively, the Avalanche are powered by Nathan MacKinnon, who has already notched 13 points, 6 goals, 7 assists, and remains the team's heartbeat on the power play. Colorado averages 3.50 goals per game with an 11.8% power play success rate, below their usual standards, but they've compensated with elite shot volume at 35.1 per night. For New Jersey, Jesper Bratt, 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists, and Jack Hughes, 6 goals, 9 points, lead one of the league's most efficient attacks, converting 32% on the power play while ranking near the top of the NHL with 3.88 goals per game. The Devils' puck movement and net front pressure have been devastating, producing multiple multi-goal wins over their last 5 contests. Recent form tells 2 contrasting stories. Colorado has gone 2-3 in its last 5, suffering back-to-back setbacks against Boston, 3-2, and Carolina, 5-4-0, following a strong stretch that included wins over Columbus and Boston by identical 4-1 scores. The Avalanche's offense remains potent, but their defense has shown occasional lapses against speedier opponents. Meanwhile, the Devils are on a 5-game tear, outscoring opponents 20-9 and winning decisively over San Jose, Minnesota, Toronto, Edmonton, and Florida. Their 93.1% penalty kill and 2 shorthanded goals highlight a dominant, well-rounded special teams unit. Both teams enter this matchup with notable injuries that could influence lineup depth. Colorado remains without key pieces, such as Logan O'Connor, IRLT, out until November. 11. Samuel Girard, IR, November, 16. And Joel Kiviranta, IR, November, 8, thinning their forward depth and blue line rotation. Goaltender Mackenzie Blackwood is also sidelined until October, 28. For New Jersey, Cody Glass, Juho Lammikko, and Zach McEwen are all expected out until early November, while Jonathan Kovacevic, LTIR, won't return until January. Despite these absences, the Devils' forward core has compensated with relentless pace and chemistry, while Colorado has leaned heavily on its top 6 to maintain offensive rhythm. In the standings, both teams are in contention. Colorado trails Utah by 1 point in the Central, while New Jersey leads the Metropolitan by 14. A win could push the Avalanche back into first, while the Devils look to extend their unbeaten home streak in Newark. X factors in this matchup are transition play and goaltending under pressure. If Wedgwood contains New Jersey's neutral zone speed, Colorado's depth could capitalize on defensive lapses. Conversely, if Allen stays hot and the Devils' power play clicks, the Avalanche may struggle in special teams. Hughes' creativity and McKinnon's pace could swing momentum. Prediction: New Jersey's balance and elite special teams give them a slight edge at home. Expect a fast-paced, playoff-style game with momentum swings. Final: Devils 4, Avalanche 3, OT. Hughes and Bratt shine as New Jersey extends its unbeaten home streak, while Colorado grabs a hard-fought road point. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is New Jersey Devils winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. San Jose Sharks versus Minnesota Wild. The San Jose Sharks continue their early season road swing with a visit to the Grand Casino Arena to face the Minnesota Wild in a matchup between two teams looking to establish consistency. The Sharks enter at 1-5-2, 1-3-0 away, sitting near the bottom of the Pacific Division with just 4 points, while the Wild hold a 3-4-1 mark, currently last in the Central Division, but just one win away from climbing back into the mix. For San Jose, this is another test for a young and rebuilding team led by rookie standout Macklin Celebrini, whereas Minnesota, a team in transition, hopes to find steadier footing behind an offense anchored by Matt Boldy and a goaltending duo still seeking rhythm. Goaltending could define this contest, as both teams have struggled defensively early in the campaign. San Jose's tandem of Yaroslav Askarov and Alex Nedeljkovic has combined for just one win, with Askarov holding an .857 save percentage and 4.82 goals against average, GAA, while Nedeljkovic has been slightly sharper at .874 SV% and 4.00 GAA. Minnesota's Filip Gustavsson has been steadier with a 3.04 GAA and a .902 save rate through 4 starts, while young Jesper Wallstedt has impressed in limited duty with a -909 SV% and 2.35 GAA. Gustafsson's veteran poise could give the Wild a crucial edge at home, particularly against a Sharks team that ranks near the bottom of the league in goal support and has allowed an average of 3.38 goals per game. Offensively, the storyline centers around the battle of rising stars: Macklin Celebrini for San Jose and Matt Boldy for Minnesota. Celebrini has been the Sharks' lone bright spot, tallying 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists, through 8 games, contributing on 23.3% of San Jose's power plays. His creativity and puck movement have driven nearly all of the Sharks' offensive production, including 2 power play assists. Boldy, meanwhile, has nearly mirrored those numbers with 11 points, 5 goals, 6 assists for the Wild, averaging over 4 shots per game. His chemistry with Minnesota's top line has been key in keeping the Wild's offense afloat despite the team's uneven play. Both players have shown an ability to take over shifts, making this a showcase of the league's next generation of talent. Recent form tells a tale of 2 struggling squads. San Jose has dropped 4 of its last 5 games, including a 3-1 loss to New Jersey on Thursday. Their lone win came in a 6-5 overtime thriller against the Rangers, but defensive lapses continue to plague them, as evidenced by allowing 6 goals to Utah earlier in the week. Minnesota has fared slightly better, though they too enter off a loss to the Devils. The Wild have alternated strong wins with puzzling letdowns, defeating Washington and the Rangers, but falling to Dallas, Philadelphia, and New Jersey in lopsided fashion. Special teams could play a decisive role. San Jose's penalty kill ranks at just 67.9%, while Minnesota's power play has been more efficient at 31.3%. a disparity that could tilt momentum toward the home side. Injuries are another major subplot. The Sharks remain severely depleted on the blue line, missing Ryan Ellis, Shakir Mukhamadullin, and Nick Leddy, while veteran captain Logan Couture is still sidelined. John Klingberg is listed day-to-day and could return, providing a much-needed boost to San Jose's puck movement. Minnesota is also banged up, with Zach Bogosian, Nico Sturm, and Michael Milne on the injured list, though the latter two are expected back soon. Still, the Wild's overall health advantage gives them more lineup stability and matchup flexibility. With both teams buried near the bottom of their respective divisions, this game carries more than symbolic weight. For San Jose, another loss could push them further from the Pacific's middle tier, while Minnesota has an opportunity to climb from last place in the Central and keep pace with Nashville and St. Louis. The Sharks' rebuild remains centered on player development, while the Wild, though imperfect, still expect to contend for a wild card spot in a competitive Western Conference. The X factors lie in goaltending composure and special teams execution. If Gustafsson can hold firm and Minnesota capitalizes on power play chances, the Wild should control play. Conversely, if Celebrini and the Sharks' top line find space in transition and Nedeljkovic steadies the net, San Jose could steal momentum and earn a rare road win. Expect Boldy and Celebrini to trade highlight moments, but Minnesota's home ice advantage, stronger special teams, and steadier goaltending depth may ultimately decide the outcome. Prediction: Wild 4, Sharks 2. Minnesota's power play and Gustafsson's consistency give them the edge, while Celebrini keeps San Jose competitive late. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Minnesota Wild winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Los Angeles Kings versus Chicago Blackhawks. The Los Angeles Kings travel to the United Center to face the Chicago Blackhawks on Sunday in what promises to be a compelling early-season matchup between two teams trending in different directions. The Kings, sitting 5th in the Pacific Division at 3-3-2, are still searching for consistency after alternating wins and losses through their first 8 contests. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks, 4-2-2 and second in the Central Division, have begun the 2025-26 campaign with renewed energy, led by breakout performances from their young forwards. Chicago has been particularly tough at home, 2-1-1, and this game marks the first meeting in a 3-game regular season series between the clubs. Goaltending could define this clash, with the Kings turning to Darcy Kuemper and the Blackhawks riding the hot hand of Spencer Knight. Kuemper, 2-2-1, 2.59 GAA, .896 S%, has been solid if not spectacular, keeping Los Angeles in games even when their offense sputters. His backup, Anton Forsberg, has struggled with a 3.89 GAA and .880 save percentage, meaning Kuemper will likely shoulder the load again. On the other side, Knight, 3-2-1, 1.97 GAA, .937 SV%, has been outstanding, giving Chicago a reliable backbone as the team navigates tight games. His composure and rebound control have stood out, making him one of the early goaltending stories of the season. If he maintains this form, the Kings forwards will need to generate high-quality chances to break through. Offensively, both teams boast intriguing contrasts in scoring depth. Los Angeles leans heavily on Adrian Kempe, who has been their engine with 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists, in 8 games. His combination of speed and shot release makes him the Kings' most dangerous weapon, especially on the power play, where he has 3 points already. Beyond Kempe, Los Angeles has struggled to find secondary scoring, a problem compounded by the absence of veteran center Anze Kopitar, IR, expected back October 28th. For Chicago, the story is the emergence of Frank Nazar and Ryan Donato. Nazar has 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists, while Donato leads the team in goals with 5, including several clutch tallies in late-game situations. Teuvo Teravainen, with 7 assists, has been the Blackhawks' setup man, anchoring their top line with his vision and puck distribution. Recent form offers a glimpse into each team's trajectory. The Kings have gone 2-3 in their last 5, but both victories came in overtime against strong opponents: Dallas, 3-2 overtime, and St. Louis, 2-1 overtime, suggesting they're learning to grind out close games. However, their 3 losses over that stretch revealed defensive lapses and inconsistent zone exits. Chicago, conversely, is 4-1 over its last 5 and trending upward. They've combined offensive flair with disciplined defensive play, highlighted by a dominant 8-3 win over St. Louis and a gritty 3-2 win against Tampa Bay. Their penalty kill, 83.8%, has been sharp, and the power play, 18.5%, has shown growing chemistry. Statistically, the Blackhawks enter with the stronger profile. They're scoring 3.13 goals per game while allowing just 2.38, compared to the Kings' 2.63 GFG and 2.63 GAA. Chicago's defensive structure, backed by Knight's goaltending, has limited opponents to 24.5 shots per game, the mark of a team committed to team defense. Los Angeles, meanwhile, averages 28.8 shots per game, but concedes nearly as many, revealing an even, sometimes stagnant pace that hasn't translated into consistent results. Injuries play a key role. The Kings are without Kopitar and defensemen Booth and Burrows, weakening center depth and the blue line. Chicago is healthier. Burakovsky and Dickinson are day-to-day, while Shea Weber remains on long-term IR. Burakovsky's return could add scoring depth to Chicago's top 6. This game is important for both teams. The Kings aim to stay close to Pacific leaders Vegas and Seattle, while Chicago looks to keep pace in the Central. An away win would boost Los Angeles' confidence, while a Chicago victory would reinforce their playoff credibility. X factors include special teams and first-period tempo. The Kings' 27.3% power play could punish mistakes, but Chicago's penalty kill and puck control may counter it. Goaltending will be key. If Quimper keeps pace with Knight and Chicago scores early, home momentum could be decisive. Prediction: the numbers and form favor Chicago. With Knight in top shape and the team's balanced scoring clicking, the Blackhawks should edge out a competitive but controlled contest. Expect a 3-2 Chicago win, with Kempe and Nazar trading early goals before the Hawks pull ahead late. Los Angeles will compete hard, but Chicago's structure and goaltending give them the slight, yet decisive, advantage. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Chicago Blackhawks winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. New York Rangers versus Calgary Flames. The New York Rangers head north, looking to regain traction as they face the struggling Calgary Flames in a cross-conference matchup defined by desperation and early-season urgency. New York enters at 3-4-2 and sits last in the Metropolitan Division with 8 points, a stark contrast for a franchise with postseason expectations. Calgary, meanwhile, is mired in a brutal 1-7-1 start, stuck at the bottom of the Pacific Division and enduring a demoralizing 5-game losing streak. This clash presents two teams searching for identity: the Rangers, who still expect to compete, and the Flames, who are already fighting to keep their season from slipping entirely out of reach. In goal, New York holds the clear advantage thanks to Igor Shesterkin, who remains one of the league's elite netminders despite the team's uneven play. Shesterkin owns a 2-3-2 record with a 1.86 goals against average and a .930 save percentage, showing his consistency remains intact even under heavy pressure. Behind him is Jonathan Quick, who has played sparingly. Calgary's goaltending tells a different story. Dustin Wolf has earned the majority of starts with a 1-6-1 record and a 3.68 goals against average, evidence of how the Flames have struggled defensively and in net. Backup Devin Cooley has shown flashes of competence in limited action, posting a 2.29 goals against average and .925 save percentage. But Calgary's defensive breakdowns have made it tough for either goaltender to find rhythm. The matchup between Shesterkin's poise and Wolf's urgency could define this game. Offensively, the Rangers have struggled to finish chances, averaging just 2.33 goals per game, but their playmakers still produce. Adam Fox leads the team with 7 points, while Taylor Radish has emerged as a surprising early goal leader with 4 tallies. Artemi Panarin continues to be the creative engine, tied for the team lead in assists with 5. The Rangers generate plenty of shots at 28.4 per game, but a lack of secondary scoring has held them back. Calgary's offense has been less effective, averaging only 1.67 goals per contest. Nazem Kadri has been the lone consistent threat with 5 points and 4 assists, while Blake Coleman leads the team with 3 goals, though most have come in losing efforts. Calgary's power play, operating at just 13.2%, has failed to generate momentum, and their inability to sustain zone pressure has forced them into counterattacking hockey. Recent trends suggest the Rangers enter with an advantage. Despite losing their last 2 games, they have been competitive in tight contests, including an overtime defeat to San Jose and a disciplined win over Montreal earlier in the week. Calgary, however, is reeling, losing 5 straight and being outscored 22-9 during that span. Discipline has also been a major problem for the Flames, who have racked up 123 penalty minutes already, nearly double the Rangers' total. That bodes poorly against a New York power play that, while inconsistent, still features Panarin, Fox, and Chris Kreider on the top unit. Injuries are also shaping this matchup. New York continues to miss center Matt Rempe and defenseman Brandon Scanlon, while Vincent Trocheck remains on injured reserve until early November, limiting depth and flexibility. Calgary is without physical forward Martin Pospisil, thinning an already struggling bottom 6 and reducing secondary scoring options. Depth becomes a key concern for the Flames, especially late in games where matchups favor New York's more experienced roster. With the Rangers able to rotate fresh legs and exploit mismatches down the stretch, Calgary may struggle to sustain pressure, particularly in high-leverage situations where bench performance often decides outcomes. The X factors are clear. For the Rangers, Shesterkin's ability to shut down prolonged pressure and Fox's transition play could tilt the contest. For Calgary, avoiding early penalties and finding scoring from players not named Kadri or Coleman is critical. If Wolf can deliver his best performance of the season and keep it close early, Calgary may feed off home ice energy. However, New York's structure and superior goaltending give them a decisive edge. The Rangers' disciplined forecheck and ability to limit odd-man rushes should frustrate the Flames' secondary lines, while sustained offensive zone time can wear down Calgary's defense. Expect New York to control the pace, capitalize on high-danger opportunities, and use special teams to maintain an edge, making a Rangers victory the likely outcome in another test of consistency versus opportunism. Prediction: Rangers 3, Flames 1. New York controls possession. Shesterkin outduels Wolf, and Calgary's offensive woes continue. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is New York Rangers winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.